Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here.
Today I'm making another wire heart bracelet inspired by my Tip Tuesday heart bracelet. You are going to need 20 gauge artistic wire. I'm using 4mm miracle beads. I have looping pliers, round nose pliers. I have my flush cutters, double flush cutters, tweezer nose pliers, and some nylon jaw pliers. So we will start with a piece of 20 gauge wire, and I am just going to make a little loop with my round nose pliers. I like to call these my Mimi hearts. So after that we'll get the looping pliers to make the top of the hearts. So we're just going to curve them around on one side, and then we're going to do any little wiggle and adjustments to make it nice and round and even, and we'll flip it and do the other side just to make a nice little heart. So now we're going to hold it firmly and do twist, twist twice to twist the ends together, and then we will get our looping pliers again, and on the smallest loop we're just going to turn it around to make a complete circle, and again on the other side. So we're just going to bring the wire right around to make sure it's symmetrical, and we have the little loop on either side. Keep adjusting it to make sure they're symmetrical, and then we'll get our flush cutters and clip the ends flush on both sides. These are the Xuron flush cutters, and then get my Xuron tweezer nose pliers just to close that little gap and make sure it's nice and flat. And then we can get our nylon jaw pliers just to press it so it's nice and flat and straight. Just give it a good little pinch with the nylon jaw pliers. Wiggle it around to access both of the loops. And then we're going to get a separate piece of wire and cut it flush, and then turn the end into a loop. Again with the smallest size loop on the pliers. Bring the other side around, and it looks like an infinity sign. Have the wire go straight up in between the two loops and add your 4mm miracle bead. Give it a good little press with the nylon jaw pliers. So that's our beginning point. And then we're going to get our looping pliers and bring the wire around to make a loop right above that bead. It's going to hold it in place. We're going to wiggle it around a little bit, and then we'll do the loop on the other side because we want to make it look like the infinity sign like we did below the bead. So we're just going to bring that wire around and make that loop. So then we'll clip the end flush, give it a little pinch with the tweezer nose pliers, make sure it sits nice and flat, give it another little pinch on the other side, and then you can get your nylon jaw pliers just to give it another firm little pinch so it sits nicely. So that's our component piece. And now we're going to do the clasp. So we're going to cut the end of the wire flush, get the looping pliers, and do our little infinity sign again. So around and back, wiggle it around and bring the wire straight up. And we will give it a little bit of a pinch with the nylon jaw pliers. And then we want to add our 4mm miracle beads. I'll link up all my materials in the description below. From there, we're going to hold it firmly, bend it to one side, and get a larger area of the looping pliers to form our loop, which will be part of our clasp. So just bring the wire around so it's nice and secure. Give it a good little clip with the flush cutters. And then we can pinch in that little pokey end. So it's nice and finished. And then we need to do the hooks. So we will clip the end again and start with our infinity sign. with the looping pliers, using the smallest loop on the looping pliers. Bring the wire around and straight up in between the loops. Just keep adjusting it so it's even. Give it a good little pinch with the nylon jaw pliers. We'll add our 4mm miracle bead. And then we're going to get our smaller round nose pliers because we need to hold that bead in place. So we're just going to do a tiny little loop right above the bead to secure it in place. Then you could give it a little pinch so it holds it in place above the bead. Straighten up the wire and get the looping pliers and bring them down. So just bring it around to form the hook, and then we're going to make a little loop to finish the end of the wire. Pinch it in to make the loop even smaller. We just need it really discreet so it's not scratchy, and we'll give it a little pinch with the flat pliers to close that loop. And then from that point you can adjust the hook, give it a good little pinch with the nylon jaw pliers, firm it up a little bit, and then now to put it all together we are going to need some jump rings. So I'm just going to make my own with the 20 gauge artistic wire, bring it around the second smallest size of the looping pliers, and I'm using the double flush cutters from Xuron to clip them apart. Now there are other ways to make jump rings. You can use a jewelry saw, but these flush cutters are great, and so we're going to attach the components together with the jump rings. So we'll get our tweezer nose pliers, pinch in those little jump rings and the other one beside it, and then hook in the little loop and close it up. So we have the heart and the component piece attached together, and we're going to keep going attaching them and alternating them to make the right length of the bracelet. So just keep going, make as many as you need to fit your wrist. Really depends on how big your wrist is. Depends on how big you make the hearts. The size will vary. So we're going to keep going, adding the hearts and the component pieces to make the full length of the bracelet. And then of course we have to add the clasp in the same manner. So get your jump rings, open them up, and put it on there. If you want a chunkier bracelet, you can use 18 gauge wire. This is quite delicate with the 20 gauge wire. Give it a good little pinch. And then we need to put the little loop on the other end of the bracelet. So we'll hook on that jump ring, get our little loop piece, stick it on there, close up the jump ring, and then we'll just need one more jump ring and we'll be done. Hook it on there, just push it over, loop it there, close it up, give it a good little pinch with the tweezer nose pliers, and there you'll see it just shuts with the clasp. Super cute. There's the finished bracelet, and you can always make some matching earrings with the components in any formation that you like, and there's the entire set.
So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.